Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to have an honest conversation about something that's affecting every single one of us: why everything is so expensive. I mean, seriously, it feels like you just blink and prices have gone up again. Groceries, gas, rent, even going to a fast food place that used to be cheap, it's all way more than it was a year or two ago. You hear people calling it a cost of living crisis or talking about inflation, but what does that really mean? Why are we paying so much more for the same stuff? Why is it so hard to make ends meet? That's what I want to talk about, in plain language, because let's be real, a lot of us are struggling and we deserve to understand why. So first off, what is inflation? You've probably heard the word all over the news. Inflation just means prices going up over time. If something used to cost $100 and now it costs $120, that's inflation. Usually, inflation is a normal part of how the economy works. A little bit of inflation is expected, like 2% per year, and that's okay if wages also rise with prices. But what we're seeing now? This is crazy inflation, and our wages? They're not keeping up. So what happens? You feel like you're working harder and harder, but your paycheck doesn't stretch as far. But why are prices rising so fast now? Let's break it down. First, we have supply chain issues. Let me explain what that means. Think back to when COVID hit, factories shut down, shipping slowed, people stayed home. Companies couldn't make enough products, and stores couldn't keep shelves stocked. Even now, years later, the world is still catching up. If fewer products are available, but everyone still wants them, prices go up. It's like if there's only one bottle of water left and 10 people want it, whoever's willing to pay the most gets it. That's happening on a global scale. Then there's fuel and energy prices. We've all felt this one. You go to the gas station and suddenly you're paying double what you used to. Why? Because of things like wars. For example, the Russia-Ukraine war messed up oil and gas supplies. Also, oil companies sometimes decide to cut production to keep prices high so they make more profit. And think about it, if gas is expensive, it's not just about filling your car. Trucks need gas to bring food to the stores. Planes need fuel to deliver goods. So if fuel prices go up, everything goes up. Even your light bill, because power plants need energy too. Another huge reason? Corporate greed, what people are now calling greedflation. See, some companies are using inflation as an excuse to raise prices way higher than necessary. They'll tell you, oh, our costs are up, but really? They just want bigger profits. You see fast food places charging way more for meals. Grocery stores bumping up prices when their suppliers didn't raise them as much. Rent being raised by hundreds of dollars because landlords know people are desperate for housing. Companies know we need essentials, food, gas, rent, so they raise prices and make record profits while we struggle. Speaking of rent, let's talk about housing. Rent is out of control. In some cities, rents have doubled or even tripled in just a few years. Why? Because there aren't enough affordable places to live. People are competing for the same apartments, and landlords take advantage. They say, well, the market price is higher, so pay up or leave. And if you're trying to buy a house? Good luck. With high mortgage interest rates, monthly payments are crazy expensive. So you're stuck renting, but even that's getting impossible. Now let's get personal. How is this affecting real people? Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're working full-time, maybe even 2 jobs, and yet, by the time you pay rent, buy groceries, pay bills, put gas in your car, you have nothing left. You used to be able to treat your kids to something nice, ice cream, a movie, but now? That's a luxury. Some people are skipping meals so their kids can eat. Some are rationing medication because they can't afford refills. Some can't even afford to turn the lights on or heat their homes properly. And here's the thing, wages are not keeping up. Minimum wage hasn't been raised in years in many places, and even for people making above minimum wage, companies aren't giving raises fast enough. So while groceries go up 20%, your paycheck might only go up 2%, if that. Meanwhile, CEOs are giving themselves million-dollar bonuses, and big corporations are making more money than ever. How is that fair? Now, let's ask, what can be done? Because it's easy to say it is what it is, but people are fed up. First, wages need to go up. Period. Minimum wage should reflect the real cost of living. If rent and food prices have doubled, then wages should too. People should be able to work one job and live, not work 2 or 3 jobs and still struggle. Second, price controls on essentials. Some countries actually have laws that say companies can't just raise prices on basics like bread, milk, medicine, and gas without reason. Why don't we have that? Governments need to hold companies accountable for price gouging. Third, build affordable housing. If rent is too high because there aren't enough places to live, then build more. Public housing, rent-controlled apartments, we need real solutions so people don't end up homeless because they can't afford rising rents. Fourth, tax the rich fairly. If billionaires and giant corporations are making record profits, they should be paying more taxes, not regular working people. Use that tax money to support programs that help families, like food assistance, healthcare, and housing. Fifth, support energy alternatives. If fuel prices are making everything more expensive, we need better options. Invest in renewable energy so we're not always at the mercy of oil companies or foreign wars affecting our gas prices. But here's the truth, change won't happen unless regular people speak up. That means voting for leaders who care about working people, not just the rich. It means standing up and demanding better, at work, in our communities, and from the people in power. So let me say this clearly, if you're struggling right now, it's not your fault. You are not lazy, you are not doing something wrong. The system is broken, and it's designed to keep the rich getting richer while everyone else falls behind. But when we understand what's happening, we can start fighting for change, together. So next time you hear someone say, "Why is everything so expensive?" you can say, "Let me tell you why. It's inflation, but also supply chain mess-ups, fuel prices, corporate greed, housing shortages, and low wages. And what's worse? It's allowed to happen because not enough people are holding those in charge accountable. But we can demand better. We can demand wages that match real life. We can demand fair prices. We can demand affordable housing. Because everyone deserves to live with dignity, not just survive. So thank you for listening to me today. I hope this makes you feel seen and heard, because you are. And I hope it gives you the knowledge to start asking hard questions and demanding real answers. Because we all deserve better than this cost of living crisis. And we'll only get there if we keep having real conversations and fight for change, together. Thank you.